Hold on. Here's my audience. And then the lovely crew over here. Oh, and the lovely little darling go down there. Okay. And we will begin. Let's hopefully get this set up right. Alright, sorry guys, this is taking a minute. So, what I'm talking to you guys about today is why you should not smoke e-cigarettes. Now, did you know that in the U.S., the leading cause of death is 1 in 5? Shocking, right? Now, I do have loved ones that unfortunately that smoke, and those who have been lucky enough to not be smoking. And I'm sure if you've noticed, the ones that do smoke, they have that nasty cough or that smelly breath from smoking. Now, it does affect their lives and it creates a negative impact as well. Now, I'm going to talk about how e-cigarettes affect the younger generation and the old alike and the harmful effects in hopes of convincing them, individuals all across the board, that e-cigarettes are harmful. They are bad. They are not safe, whether you're a teenager, a youth, or an adult. Now, e-cigarettes, although they are fairly new, they have become pretty popular in our youth today. And it's another form of smoking, especially in our youth. So if you've ever heard of the CDC, which is the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, they do have basic information. Now, as of 2018, there has been an increase in the numbers, and in reference to our youth, it's shocking and alarming. We're looking at 3.6 million students in the U.S. that use e-cigarettes. Now, the CDC is reporting that 20.8% of these smoking are high school students, and 4.9% are middle school students. Now, the e-cigarettes have become so popular that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration also launched a campaign in warning our youth in stopping. Now, e-cigarettes can lead our youth to smoking other products as well. That campaign is actually targeting social media and posting up ads, sending a message of how harmful these e-cigarettes are. They also help our schools in educating our teachers and enforcing the prevention of our youth stopping the smoking of and using of these e-cigarettes. Now that I have talked to you about the reports of cigarettes affecting our youth, I want to discuss now the harmful effects in using these e-cigarettes. Now, some of these effects we have come to across from e-cigarettes contain nicotine, leading our youth to smoking other products such as tobacco and actual cigarettes. Now, the CDC also is showing that nicotine stunts our youth's brain development and can continue from one's early to mid-20s. It can be used with also marijuana. Now, the health effects of the long term in using e-cigarettes. Now, the aerosol it contains, the substances hurt their bodies, and one of those chemicals is called acrolein. It causes damage to the lungs, and another form of chemical, it's called formaldehyde, and it's another chemical that leads to cancer. Now, believe it or not, it can cause unintended injuries. So the effects that e-cigarettes lead are fires and explosions, leading to serious injuries. Now, also another form is the exposure of long-term, the toxics it leads to poisoning. Now, the effects are truly alarming. I will talk to you about the resources for our loved ones in aiding and stopping the use of e-cigarettes. Now, some of the helpful resources I came along the way are the American Lung Association. So these keep families informed. There is a parent section on e-cigarettes, vaping, and the different types and varieties. And they help in educating and progression. Lastly, the harms to our children, the effects in teens' health risks, such as damage, altering the brains, the legality in purchasing with the legal ages, and in using. Now, the CDC also, the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention that I mentioned before, also is another great site. It has PDF files. It's called For Facts for Parents. It's a fact sheet for parents, on what the e-cigarettes are that they're using, the effects, the risk factors. And also it offers a presentation. There's also a teen section as well. And that presentation shows slides educating the youth on the risks of the e-cigarettes and the smoking, and in hopes of possibly stopping if there is a teen that is using. Now, the leads to smoking e-cigarettes as well is also part of that slide, and in how to avoid tobacco, hopefully altogether. Now, in all, I hope all this information I presented to you makes you aware in the risk and how it affects our youth and adults, and the harmful effects and resources available for those who smoke and want to stop. I hope I have convinced many and given you the information and tools that smoking e-cigarettes is bad, and that the drug products and hopefully stopping the drugs and any products in general, they should not be taken lightly, especially in our youth. A person has a greater chance of quitting and staying smoke-free if they have the tools, the method, and the support. So let's be that support. Let's help our fellow loved ones quit. Thank you.